Hello everyone, I'm Paul McGuire Grimes. James Cameron broke his own box office record upon the release of the first Avatar film in 2009. 13 years later, the sequel, Avatar: The Way of Water, is hoping for that same type of box office and critical reception. It's now in theaters and I want to talk about it. This is Paul's trip to the movies. Sam Worthington and Zoe Saldana are back again as Jake and Neytiri, and are now the proud parents of 4 children, including their adopted daughter Kiri, who's actually the daughter of Sigourney Weaver's character Grace Augustine from the first film. Sigourney Weaver actually plays Kiri in this film too. They've also taken in the only human child on Pandora. He's named Spider and is played by Jack Champion, and is actually the son of the military leader Quaritch, who's played by Stephen Lang. Pandora had been a place of peace until a group of sky people return and their ships start destroying the terrain. And once again, they're led by Quaritch, whose body is now in that of the Na'vi. His crew all take on the form of Na'vi in order to infiltrate Pandora. Jake and Neytiri hide their family on a different village full of water people. The film also stars Kate Winslet, Jermaine Clement, Edie Falco, and Cliff Curtis. James Cameron has a full franchise planned out, and the long-delayed release of the sequel really asks a lot out of the audience to not only remember the first film and its story, but also knowing that filmmaking and movie watching has just changed so much since 2009. Now, Cameron's one to always push the boundaries, and you're really reminded of that early on if you see the film in 3D IMAX. I was quickly in awe of Cameron's visual storytelling as we return to the lush world of Pandora, full of neons and the glow-in-the-dark landscaping and the motion capture technology used to make these actors into their Na'vi counterparts. Special effects company Weta does genius work with this technology as it still captures the actors' emotional performances. Sigourney Weaver is a standout despite playing this 15-year-old Na'vi. There's so much that she brings to Kiri, who is this outcast just trying to find her place in society. Frankly, the visual effects looked so breathtaking that you forget that this is all done via computer, as it really feels grounded in a very realistic society. And I think it looks 100 times better than most Marvel movies out there. For a movie that spanned 3 hours and 12 minutes, James Cameron should have told a deeper and more complex story. Bringing back Stephen Lang as the target villain, who is part of that military team exploiting Pandora, really felt too similar to the first film. Cameron then uses this film to then expand on the next generation of Na'vi, building up the stories for Jake and Neytiri's children as they feel all this hatred for being half-breeds versus pure Na'vi. The middle section then thus feels really stretched as Cameron goes off on these tangents where he could have just jumped to the climax, I think, a lot quicker, as that's where this film works the best. James Cameron and cinematographer Russell Carpenter know how to shoot action sequences. In other films, I think that action scenes are shot and edited to this frenzied chaos that you just can't follow, but not here, as Cameron and his technical crew seem to have the camera follow through the action, really taking us along for that explosive ride. They pull out all the stops and really made this feel reminiscent of the ship sinking in Titanic. Avatar: The Way of Water is too long, especially knowing that this has a really big cast full of terrific actors who don't feel like they have enough really to build on. It's odd that Zoe Saldana and Sam Worthington take a back seat in this film. There's no denying that James Cameron is a visual storyteller, as his team have really created this fully realized fantasy world full of different characters, species, and animals that all live together and communicate using a form of sign language. It's clear that Cameron wants to remind his audience of the power and the beauty of nature and what happens when greedy corporations destroy it for their own monetary use. I'm giving Avatar: The Way of Water 4 out of 5 ticket stubs. If you like my review today, click subscribe on my YouTube channel. I got some movie reviews, as well as my appearances on Twin Cities Live. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok. I'd love to hear from you. Leave me a comment here on YouTube or on social. What has been your favorite James Cameron movie? Mine, of course, is Titanic. And then go to my website, paulstriptothemovies.com, for even more reviews. Thank you so much for watching my review of Avatar: The Way of Water. This is Paul's Trip to the Movies.